everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and welcome back to my channel. I write young adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if you think that might interest you, then think about subscribing below. It's that time of year when everyone is kind of looking back and trying to see what goals they met and what they want to do next year and all of that. I thought that I would talk about wrapping up your writing year. I personally do this in November, and I talked about that in a video last week, which I will link up in the cards. But if you're someone who wants to take a look back at what you've managed, here's how to do it. Number 1, acknowledge the wins. I talked about this earlier in the year, how you need to celebrate your wins, and I'll link that video up in the cards if I can. But the long and short of it is that you should be looking back over the past year and seeing the highs as something to be proud of. No one can define what a high is for you. I'm not even going to try. But for me, doing things like publishing a book and finding a way to step back from drafting and rewrite and revise older projects, those are wins for me. You want to be able to see what you've actually achieved without getting bogged down in what you didn't, which I'll talk about more in a moment. The point of reviewing your year, or just trying to find things to focus on when it comes to looking back, is that you did do something. It might not have been everything, it might not have been to the level that you initially thought it would be, but you did do something, and that should be celebrated. So even if you look back and see that there are only a few small wins, those still count. Those still matter, and allowing yourself to celebrate and acknowledge them means something. After all, if all you're doing is focusing on the things you weren't able to, for whatever reason, manage, then you are going to find it hard to motivate yourself to do things next year. While I don't do this anymore, a lot of the onus is to set goals that you will have to push hard all year for. I used to do that, and then I got to the end of the year or whatever period, and it would hit me hard that I barely managed to do any of it. That's why it's important to have wins and acknowledge them. A year is a long time to keep track of goals, which is why a lot of people do them on a smaller scale as well, or instead of, all of which is valid. But yeah, when looking back, seek out the good stuff, not just the bad. Number 2, don't focus on the losses. When I say this, I don't mean that you shouldn't see them as losses, or even that you should just ignore that they happened and fall into that mindset of toxic positivity. What I mean is they shouldn't be the whole focus. They should be part of it, yes, because you will learn and grow from knowing that you didn't manage X task because of Y reason. Like maybe it relied too much on perfection at all times, which is impossible for anyone. Or maybe it asked way too much of you and you kind of knew that and would have had to push constantly to make it. While yes, goals should push you a little, they shouldn't be pushing you into burnout or exhaustion or both. So when it comes to wrapping up your writing year, be ready to see those losses and just let them sit. You don't need to wallow in them or decide that you're a terrible author, writer, person because you didn't manage to get everything on your list done. Don't be beating yourself up like that. You tried something, it didn't work, okay, on to the next. There's no shame in trying, and there's no shame in not managing to fulfill what you wanted to do. There's always next time, and you get into knowing what to tweak, what to change, and how to set a more manageable goal, which is a very, very good thing. Number 3, remember your why. When it comes to writing and any creative pursuit really, there's always a reason why you want to do this. Like for me, my why is that I have stories that I know need to be told, and I also know that I'm the only one who can tell them the way that they need to be told. That might sound conceited or like I have a massive ego. It's neither. While I could pass on the idea to someone else, they will not tell it the exact way that I would. Everyone takes the same idea and executes it differently. Finding your why and making sure that it propels you forward is a great motivator. It helps you work out exactly what you want to achieve and how you're going to get there. It can be a powerful tool, and if you already know it, then remind yourself and set about looking to the next year or the next period of where you're going to set goals. And number 4, work out what to do next. With the end of every year, there's always the prospect of a new one on the horizon, so when you've wrapped up your writing for the year, there's always the knowledge that a new year is coming and it all starts again. One thing that I've been doing for a long time is having my yearly goals, which I'll talk about in an upcoming video, but also setting ones for the coming year. I also do my bi-monthly goals, which basically have that yearly goals broken down into more manageable chunks. Some people do quarterly, some do monthly, some do weekly. Whatever works for you and helps you keep moving, then that's the best option for you. When you've looked back, you can start looking forward again and work out how and what you need to do so that when you come to this time next year, you might have more wins and fewer losses. Or you might be in a similar position. You just have to keep plugging away and things will come together in their own time. Yeah, that's wrapping up your writing year. Like I said, I will be reviewing my goals in an upcoming video and setting new ones for the coming year, but you really have to find a way that works for you. You don't have to set goals, it's not like the law or something, but if you find that they work for you, then make sure you acknowledge the wins, accept the losses, and keep moving forward. What's one thing you do to wrap up your writing year? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like, or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere, and you can also sign up for my newsletter. And don't forget to pick up Crime & Chronicles The Third Ache, which is the third in the Young Adult Urban Fantasy series. And also, don't forget to grab a ticket for Wonderland in Nottingham in July 2025, where I'll be signing books. All the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.